Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. It has been hot this week. I hope you guys are doing good where you are at. It is imperative when it is this hot, especially with meat birds. You can tell they're warm to make sure that they have water. We just finished afternoon chores. These guys are hot. The sun is finally going down. You can see when they got their wings out, like this fatty right there, that they are warm. They do have shade and a nice breeze is coming in through here, but I did want to just check their waters and make sure. I'll top those off before we leave here. But we made one last trip to Valley Farms Hatchery, Brooklyn and I did yesterday, and we've got our last batch of chickens for the year. These guys are probably around 5 weeks. I've got it written down in the house, but I can't remember offhand. But so we have possibly two and a half weeks until these are ready to be butchered. So I've got the chicken tractor turned sideways coming down the pasture here, and it will be heading back up towards the butcher station. So we are winding our season down. We've got 300 birds left to process, which sounds like a ton, but from where we started back in May, we're getting there. We are getting there, but it has been hot. So I'll fill these waters up before we leave here, and then the good thing about the heat is we can get those birds out of the brooder at a lot younger age. So we're gonna go check out these 2-week-old birds that we just moved out yesterday. All right, here they are. We have about 85 to 90 of these young Cornish left, and that is the one benefit of this heat. They don't need to be in a brooder till they're feathered out. These are 2 weeks old and doing quite well out here. They've been out here 2 nights now, I believe. You don't have to move this every single day when they're this small, which is nice. We've got the 5-gallon water out here. They are learning this because this is basically the same water they had in their brooder. So they're enjoying being out on grass. You definitely have to make sure you have no gaps underneath the sides of these chicken tractors because they will squeak out the bottom, but they are definitely not cold. So this is the perfect time of year. If you've got young Cornish, you know the brooder is the worst time for Cornish cross, just because they are eaters and poopers. That is all they do, eat, grow, and poop. So the brooder gets to be pretty nasty. So being able to get these young Cornish out at 2 weeks is a huge plus. So this time of year is great for that. So this is our second to last batch of Cornish for the season. We're gonna head over to the brooder and let's go check out what Brooklyn and I picked up yesterday. Well, before we get to the brooder, I just remembered I've got a wallow filling over here. I'm sure the pigs don't care if it overflows, but I don't want it to go all over the place. So it looks like this thing is maxed out. These are the new sows that we picked up. They don't mind a little extra water, but it is definitely high enough. So these gals just had dinner, and now they've got a fresh pool. I need to fill in the back of this wallow, build a bank up a little higher. You can see it overflows towards the back there, but they're not gonna complain about this nice pool wallow. So they just ate. You can see the mud is still pretty well caked on their backs, so they can not get that sunburn. Fresh wallow, full bellies. They are living it up right now. What do you think? So I'm glad I remembered that. I was just driving across the back of the yard to head over to the brooder, and I remembered that I had put the wallow on. It is full, so it'll be nice and cool for them when they're ready. They're doing a little bit of grazing here this evening as the sun starts to set and it starts to cool down. So they are ready, but now we gotta go check on the chickens. Not before we say hi to Big Mabel. Mabel, hey. Your wallow's full. You gonna go check it out? All right. We're over here at the brooder barn. that I am super excited that this is our last batch of chickens. So you guys remember we went down to 100. We were doing 100 Cornish every batch instead of 150. It just worked out better for processing. It worked out better for just the amount of chicken that we have. Now we probably will run out of chicken this year, which that's a good thing to sell it all. But you'll notice that, let me lift this up here. This is the best part. They're still, these guys are 2 days old. We just got back yesterday. You open this up and they go crazy. So you'll see, oh, they're all hiding all back there, but not all of these birds are the same. So we ended up getting 100 Cornish cross and 100 commercial browns from Valley Farms Hatchery. Now they're still hatching for a while. I can't remember when they stop, but if you're looking for chickens, they've still got chickens. But for us, we are done for the year. I'm excited about that. But we ended up getting 100 egg layers to replenish our egg layers for next spring. So that's why we got them now. So if you're trying to get your eggs and have eggs for your markets or for your customers, if you got them, you got to get those old hens out and new hens starting to lay. You don't want to start them in the spring because they're going to take 24 weeks until you start getting more eggs. So that's why we got egg layers now. What's this little chirper doing under here? What are you doing? Running around like a little guinea. So we got 100 commercial browns, 100 Cornish cross. And you may ask, why do we have them switched? And they're 50 and 50. Well, let's walk over here. We'll put these guys up. They probably only need one heat lamp, but they got plenty of room to get away from that. But I don't know if I can get this one with one hand. It's a little heavier. Ooh, there we go. All right, here's the second batch of 50 and 50. So the reason why we mix them, if you guys have raised Cornish, you know that anytime after about a week and a half, they just lay down a layer of poop in the brooder. And they don't really scratch much. They're not like normal egg-laying chickens. So our thought, and I think we've done this before and it was a lot better, but I can't remember. So we're going to find out together. We're hoping the egg layers are going to help scratch that manure around. Let's get in here and check some of these out. Scratch that manure around, and this brooder will not get as gross as if we just had 100 Cornish cross in here. You're also going to be able to see as these guys start to grow. We've showed it before, but if you are new here, you're going to see how fast these Cornish grow compared to regular egg-laying chickens. So anyway, this is our last batch, and to say I'm excited is an understatement. It's a long season. It's a short season, but it's a long season, if that makes sense, if you're doing meat chickens and all that stuff. So the last batch is on the farm, and we are excited. If this heat stays up, these guys will be outside in 2 weeks. We'll probably put the egg layers in one of our big chicken tractors, the 10 by 20 tractors that we're running the meat birds in, and leave them in there until we add them to the main flock. We'll have to put roofs and everything up, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So Brooklyn and I made our last trip, and we are excited about that. So we'll go out here. We're going to check out the main egg layer flock, and let's go see what chickens we're replacing. All right, most beautiful time of the day to watch these egg layers out doing their work. That sun is going down, that shade is starting to come across their pen, and they are out scratching, picking, getting bugs, and doing their thing. So the egg layers obviously, I don't know about obviously, the egg layers, they lose production every year after they molt. And we've had some of these commercial browns going on 2.5 years. You can see right here, Brooklyn and I put black bands on their young commercial browns, and any of the brown ones that don't have a black band, like this one right here, she doesn't have a black band. We know that that is the older hen. So we are working on making a profit, trying to make a profit with our egg layers. And if you're keeping old hens that aren't laying very much, you're just feeding that animal and not getting any production from them, you're not going to be able to turn a profit. So obviously we want them to at least pay for their feed. I think we are making a little bit of money each month on our eggs. We are selling out all the time at the markets, which is a good thing. I don't want to add more chickens and have a larger egg laying flock, but I do want to kind of sustain where we are at. So probably later this fall towards winter, we're going to get rid of the commercial browns. We have people that come out and will process and use these as stew birds. So any commercial brown that doesn't have a band around its leg will be processed this fall. And then we know the ones with the bands are going to be the older ones when we bring those young chicks out to the flock. So we really like the commercial browns from Valley Farms. You can check them out. They're a sex link. They're just a high production egg layer. If you're looking for something like that doesn't go broody often. Now we've had 2 or 3 of these go broody, but nothing like a dual purpose chicken that goes broody a lot. When you're wanting just eggs, you do not want your chickens going broody. They're not laying and they're trying to set on those eggs. So if you're looking for a high production egg layer, these commercial browns are one of our favorites. We've also got the black sex links. We've got a couple of amber links, a couple leghorns. So those will be going as well once their time is up. But that is who's coming out here. It will take a while. Probably in the spring, we'll join all those 100 new commercial browns out here with the existing flock. But that is how we're able to tell which one's which and which are our older birds. Now, the next time we order egg layers, we'll probably do the black sex links. And then we'll know that the commercial browns will be the older ones and the black sex links will be the newer ones. We'll just rotate out. So those are the ones going. Like I said, they probably won't go till fall. You guys know that the chicken's egg production slows down in the fall and winter when there's less sunlight anyway. And so it's time to replace our old hens, and our egg production will be at its peak again when spring comes around. So anyway, that's why we got the extra 100 egg layers. And then we're on our last batch of Cornish. That is such an awesome thing to say. I can't wait until that video where we process our last chicken for the year. That will be exciting. Or is it egg-citing? Whichever lame chicken joke you want. So anyway, guys, make sure you guys are keeping cool. Make sure your animals have fresh water when it's hot like this out, some shade to get to. Appreciate y'all following along, and don't forget to make the change.